Version 3.32 was just released, ladies and gentlemen, offering a brand new map in every single arena called Time's Up, a ton of bloon changes with a brand new rush available called Tight Leads, Tight Mobs, and Tight BFBs, and a million new balance changes, guys, and today we're going to show you all of it. So get your popcorn, get comfortable, here we go, this is going to be awesome. Alright guys, we are against Axel here, going Smudge Ziney Z, and I'm bringing normal Jericho. And we are in the map off time today, golden strategy of Boomerang Mortar Farm, and here we go. Lots of balance changes, lots of new additions to go over. I'm very excited for this. First things first, there is a brand new map being added, ladies and gentlemen. The map's name is called Time's Up. So I'll show you guys a picture of the map right here. Basically, the way it works, it says, time's up for no one. The hands of the clock move between rounds, changing the path the balloons will follow. So it's going to change path every single round, which will be very interesting. Try this awesome new map in ranked games in White Wasteland and higher, plus casual, event, and clan games. Okay, I'm very excited for that. I think it's going to be pretty awesome. Also, I missed my round 1 Jericho, but that's fine. We'll just go double Boomerang. We'll get round 2 Jericho. Next thing's the general changes, guys. They got banana farmers and bloon bots now appear below activated abilities and ability bar. So I assume when I have activated abilities, these guys, like the banana farmer and the bloon bot, will be below it. So like, I don't have any abilities currently, obviously. But when I actually get some, you'll be able to see that change. So that'll be something we will see this game, which is pretty cool. Cosmetics for sale in the daily offer now display which type of cosmetic they are. A little bit of quality life change there. Added support for inviting people to join clans and private matches through the native share dialogue. iOS only. Okay, so that's something for the phone. I'm not exactly sure what that means, but something for the phone. Now we're on to the thing I actually was really excited about, guys. Now we're on to the bloon sins changes. This is the stuff that I thought was really interesting when I was just reading over the patch notes briefly. They have buffed a lot of rushing in the game, guys. So lots of these rushes are going to be really interesting to test out. Okay, so first things first on the bloon sins changes. They made grouped Moabs, which come out on round 9. Grouped Moabs, which come out on round 19 as per usual. Now only cost 900 instead of 1,000. So grouped Moabs are $100 cheaper. Round 22, grouped BFBs, instead of only costing 1.6k, on round 22, group BFBs only cost 1.3k. Do you realize how cheap that is for a group BFB, guys? 1.3k for a group BFB is unbelievably cheap. I'm not even gonna lie. That is crazy cheap. So group BFB rushes are gonna be insane now. Round 23, grouped leads are now replaced with tight leads. 80 tightly packed leads for 1.2k and plus 20 income. Okay, so it wouldn't be very good for income to send them because you only get 20 income for spending 1.2k, but 80 tightly packed leads, that honestly could be pretty effective against a couple rushes that have limited lead popping power. Definitely gonna have to try that one out. Round 24, grouped ZMGs cost $500 less, so grouped ZMGs only cost 5k. I think that's a fair change. Round 25, there's a new bloon sin that is added as well. They're making a grouped Moab rush now, guys. Now replaces the previously tight Moabs. You'll be able to now send grouped Moabs at 20 tightly packed Moabs for 3.5k and minus 50 income. So you can send a 20 Moab rush for 3.5k, which, if I'm doing my math correctly, how much is that for Moab? That is less than $200 per Moab. That's like $175 per Moab. That's actually kind of crazy. 20 Moab rush. I'm gonna have to try that out, and you lose 50 income from it. So you lose a little bit of income with it as well, but that's not that much income you lose. Round 26, grouped ZMG send now drops price to 4.5k. So you can send grouped ZMGs in round 26 for an even cheaper, $1,000 less than before. Round 28, grouped DDT income is changed to minus 200 instead of minus 300. Okay. And then, oh, they did this in a weird order. They have round 27 after round 28. Okay, so round 27, before the group DT change, grouped BFBs are now replaced by tight BFBs, guys. You can now send 10 tightly packed BFBs for 7k and minus $150 income. So you can send 10 BFBs at $700 a piece, basically, which is pretty insane too. So honestly, these are some insane rushes that you can send now. I am very excited to try this out. Very excited. We're going against DFA here, by the way, Dart Farm Ace, which is a battles 1 strategy, so that's pretty interesting. Okay, we'll boost against that. They rushed me a little bit, that's fine. I'm very excited though. This is interesting stuff here. Let's get my camo detection up. We'll keep ecoing. They forced a tower boost on my end. A group BFB rush seems crazy though. 10 tightly packed BFBs for 7k. I guess against their load, it probably wouldn't be that good because they have Ace, so they could ground 0 it. But it's only 7k, so it's a cheap send too. Let's steal from them. Let's actually rush them a little bit. Okay, force double jug. Are they dead? Oh, they're so dead. Okay, okay. Well, I'll catch you guys in the rest of the balance changes. I definitely want to showcase the rushes in today's video, so we'll hopefully get to showcase a little bit of it, but I'll catch you guys in the next one. All right, guys, and I was actually curious as what their reasoning was with this, because all these changes are pretty crazy, to be honest. Being able to send 20 mobs for 3.5k is absurd. Being able to send 10 BFBs for 7k is absurd. I honestly like the changes just because more rushes being available makes games more interesting, but I do think it's kind of crazy. So here's what they said about it. They said, we made quite a few additions and adjustments to bloon send options to address a couple of things. Well, let me get my Jericho down here. First things first. Let me get my Jericho down. To address a couple of things. Firstly, there were limited rushes between round 23 and 29, with players often just waiting until they can send a BAD at this stage. I agree with that. Or DTs if their opponent can't handle them. Secondly, old bloon send options became very irrelevant as new ones unlocked, because the new ones were often much more efficient. Now the new sends available, such as tight mobs, this offers new rushing options for the mid-20s while getting rid of the old and inefficient mob sends. Okay, that honestly makes sense, because how often were you sending your opponent a fortified mob or a fortified BFB after round 22 or like round 24? You're not really sending those anymore, so I kind of agree with the reasoning there. Hopefully I get to test out some of the new blue send changes this game, because I didn't really get to test it out last game, unfortunately. The game ended early, but we'll send some space pings here. We'll upgrade my tack shooter once, and we should be vibing. Now, Boomerang Monkey. We're onto the balance changes now, guys. They have changed the Boomerang Monkey. What have they changed with it? They made the Kylie Boomerang $200 cheaper. So Kylie Boomerang is only 1,100 now. And in turn, they've made the Mob Press $200 more expensive. So Mob Press is the same exact price as it was before, just with Kylie cheaper. They've made the Turbocharge $150 more expensive. I agree with the Turbocharge change. Definitely deserves some sort of nerf. And they made the Permacharge 2k less. So Permacharge is actually a little bit less overall cost with the Turbocharge cost in mind. Honestly, pretty good changes. I agree with them for the most part. Pretty good Boomerang changes to start it off for the balance changes. Tack Shooter. Okay, Tack Shooter is next on the list. They've made the Blade Shooter, X3X Blade Shooter, reduce attack rate by 15%, 12. What does that mean? Reduce attack rate by 15%, 12%? I assume that's a nerf. It's a weird way so I'm guessing it basically attacks 3% slower or something. That's what I'm kind of getting from that. It's a weird way they worded it, but it seems like, at least on most maps where tack shooters use, I assume it'll defend stuff pretty much the same. Probably will just do a little bit less against like grouped zebra rushes and stuff. But I assume it'll still defend round 5, spaced whites and spaced blacks pretty fine. They have also buffed the Inferno Ring by making it have plus 11 damage to mob class balloons instead of plus 7. And that means the total mob damage is now 22. Okay. They said the smallest nerfs of the Blade Shooter, an upgrade that's persistently remained as next to the exceptionally efficient early game tower. We've also given Inferno Ring a much needed damage buff so we can better deal with the ramped mob class balloons in the late game. Okay. Definitely we'll have to try out the Inferno Ring at some point. They've buffed that thing so many times. I feel like every time I've tried it after the buffs, it's still been trash, but you know, maybe this is the time that it's gonna be usable for once. Maybe they've made it. Maybe the Inferno Ring's made it out the mud. Next one's the Ice Monkey, guys. The Ice Monkey is now only costs $450 as a base tower, which is pretty nice buff. $50 cheaper. I'll always take a $50 cheaper buff, you know? I'll always take that, ladies and gentlemen. They have buffed the Absolute Zero by making it 2k cheaper, and they have changed the Snowstorm from buffing Ice Monkeys and Fuzzy Snowman with 2 times attack speed for 6 seconds instead of 10 seconds. Okay. I didn't even know that Snowstorm buffed attack speed of Ice Monkeys, I'll be honest. I thought it was only Absolute Zero that did that. So I'm surprised in that, but okay. Interesting. I guess you learn something new every day. We'll just keep going here at my opponent. Good ice changes though. Ice is definitely one of the underpowered towers in the game right now. So it's nice to see that the ice is getting a base price buff. Monkey Ace. Okay. They have made the Sky Shredder darts. Wait, one sec. Opponent's rushing me. They have made the Sky Shredder darts gain +3 pierce and plus 5 pierce and deal 200 damage instead of +3 pierce. So it's a little bit of a buff to the Monkey Ace Sky Shredder there. which honestly it deserved it. So good buff, good buff. Opponent is struggling a little bit. Are they gonna, if they rush me again here, I go for a Maelstrom maybe? Spectre, the darts now do a +2 damage to mob class balloons, so Spectre has some increased mob damage, which is honestly pretty nice for Spectre as well. Because Spectre was pretty weak in all honesty before. It was one of the worst upgrades on the Ace. So nice to see that. Dartling Gunner, they have buffed the laser cannon from $3,000 to $2,800. I think that's a good Dartling buff. Laser cannon, I rarely ever use that upgrade. It's pretty cheap now though, $2,800 for that. You might see it come out every now and then from the big Mehalic now. It's very cheap. Wizard Monkey, they have made the Prince of Darkness unpopped Moabs deal 25 damage instead of 20, and then the BFBs deal 130 damage. So big buffs to the Prince of Darkness. Honestly, Wizard might be being used a little bit now. It's been getting buffed a ton recently, guys. It's been getting buffed a ton recently. Okay, let's get heavy shells in this. I do need to prepare my defenses against rushes for sure. We are also getting into some of these later rounds here. Let's actually steal from them real quick. Okay, they have Spike Factory, so it's Mortar Farm Spike Factory for my opponent. Super Monkey is the next tower on the balance changes, by the way, guys. Super Monkey, they have changed the Robo Monkey of making a crit every 15 shots repeatedly instead of randomly critting between 15 and 20. So that's a buff to it for sure. Okay, they're sending me a Moab with some balloons behind. We'll just boost this. Okay, we should be good on boost. If they send me a re-rush behind this, I'm just gonna go for an artillery battery. So that's a buff. The Tech Terror now gains +6 pierce instead of +4 pierce. And the X5X pierce is now unchanged, okay? We'll use a bad ability here. We're fine. The anti-bloon now crits every 15 shots instead of randomly between 13 and 17. So it still crits the same often, at the same oftenness, but it doesn't crit at a random amount. It's crits more consistent. So good changes to Super Monkey. Honestly, I would have liked to see a little bit of Super Monkey buffs just because it's pretty trash right now. They didn't really buff it much at all, but still like the changes nonetheless. Okay, we'll send them a mob with some rainbows behind. Ninja Monkey, this is one I've been waiting on. Because the Ninja Monkey, as you guys know, is a meta tower right now. So I want to see how they have balance changed the Ninja Monkey in any way whatsoever. So let's see how they ended up doing against it. Sharp Shurikens, the 2XX upgrade, guys, is now $200 instead of $300, so $100 cheaper, but it only increases pierce by 1. And then they have actually made the double shot $100 more expensive. So basically, it's like the old Ninja. The double shot from the old Ninja has the same pierce now than before and the same overall price. Just the first couple rounds with the Ninja are going to be a little bit easier now. So good changes for the Ninja there. The Caltrops no longer receive pierce buffs on the Ninja. The Flash Bomb stun durations 1 second instead of 1.1 seconds. And then the Bloon Jitsu Caltrops damage is 5 instead of 10. Honestly, very good changes. Oh, look at this. We already see one of the changes here. Moab only costs $900 to send now. I'd like to see that. Okay. And hopefully we'll get the grouped lead send here soon. I forget what round the grouped lead send comes, but nice to see his changes already coming into effect. Alchemist. This is another tower I would like to see balance change. So, Alchemist, what have they done with the good old Alchemist, ladies and gentlemen? Let's go for another farm. They have made the base... Oh, crap. What's going on? Are they sending me leads? They just sent me a grouped lead rush. Look at that. Okay, let's send them some grouped leads. Let's send them some grouped leads. Wait, let's regen them. Let's regen them. Oh, are they screwed? They get ABAT? Did it regen farm? No, they're good. They're good. They're good. Okay. Dude, grouped lead rush is actually crazy, though. Oh my gosh. What was that? It actually looks kind of crazy. I'm not going to lie. Okay. Base Pierce change for the Alchemist. They're sending me more. Yeah, we should be good against these purples. Let's go for a big one here. Just because they're sending me so many balloons. They're sending me some Moabs. Oh, look at the Moabs. Super Maelstrom. Bro, what is that Moab rush? What is that Moab rush, bro? What? It costs 7k to send 20 fortified mobs. That's actually insane. We're just gonna micro Super Maelstrom here. We're good, we're good. Dude, I can't even get through all these balance changes. There's so much going on. There's so much to freaking computate in my head that's going on. So many changes. Okay. We'll get through the rest of them in the last match. That was actually insane. That grouped mob rush is nuts. And this leads as well. Okay. If I remember correctly, Alchemist was the last one we're talking about. So they have reduced the base pierce and base splash radius of the Alchemist, which is W changes for sure. Rinse unpoppable here, by the way, starting with the Fate Weaver door. Next, they have increased the pierce. No, they've reduced the pierce of the bigger splash of the Alchemist to like the 1xx and reduced splash radius of that as well. So 2 nerfs to the Alchemist right there. They have changed the X1X acid to deal damage. It's going to deal the same amount of damage as before, just at a slower tick rate. So another nerf to the Alchemist. 3 nerfs so far to the Alchemist. They have made the rubber to gold give you 1.5 instead of 2 per pop. Okay, that's a huge change to the Alchemist, guys. Rubber to gold takes a 25% income hit. So honestly, lots of Ninja and Alchemist nerfs. Ninja Alchemeta, guys, is I think officially dead, or at least it's not going to be near as good as it was. So big changes there. Next up is the Spike Factory, guys. Now they got the even faster production costing $500 instead of $600. So small buff to the Spike Factory there. But with that buff to the Spike Factory, they have nerfed the long life spikes by $150. And they have buffed the deadly spikes by $100. So overall, 3 changes to the Spike Factory. This actually, in my opinion, makes the Spike Factory a little bit weaker, because you never really go for even faster production. And you're gonna have to buy long life before you buy deadly spikes. So the overall price of deadly spikes is $50 more expensive. But yeah, so a couple Spike Factory changes. Monkey Village. Okay, they have made the Monkeyopolis generate an extra $600 per round. So it's going to generate $4,200 per round with no farms being absorbed now, instead of $3,600. Honestly, interesting change. I don't really agree with it, because the only time the Monkeyopolis is actually used is if you have no farms being absorbed with it. The only time it's used is in eco strategies for the most part. And they have pretty much buffed it in eco strategies, but they haven't really buffed it that much in a farm loader. I would have liked to see it be changed to give you more farm income if you're absorbing farms into it, is what I would have liked to see. But they did not do that, so I guess that's fine. Now we're on to the heroes, guys. Okay, lots of hero changes. They have made Smudgecat Azili have 8 pierce instead of 7 pierce at level 2, so small buff. And the splash radius actually was greatly increased from 8 to 11. So Smudgecat Azili actually got some pretty big early game buffs there, which is interesting to see. Is my opponent dead? My opponent's dead. Alright guys, our next match here is on the map Dino Graveyard with the strategy Dartling, Super Monkey, and Farm. We are starting with our Dartling here, of course, and we're get some farms on the map. We're against David and Dia here, starting with their Dart and their Sniper. So it's Dart, Sniper, Farm from them. So interesting matchup for sure. Definitely a very interesting matchup. Hopefully they don't die against these Spaced Rainbows. I really want to try out the grouped BFB rush this game. That's going to be my main goal for the final match of today's video. Try out that group BFB rush and see how it actually performs. But we have a couple more balance changes to go over. We last ended with Smudgecat Azili, if I remember correctly. So the next balance change is Pat Fusty. They have changed the Rallying Roar on the Pat Fusty to last 12.5 seconds instead of 10 seconds at level 14. So Pat's getting a little bit of a late game buff to its Rallying Roar there, which is pretty nice for it. And they have also buffed Snow Pat Fusty. And the Snow Pat buffs, guys, are actually pretty significant in my opinion. They have changed the level 2 Snowpat, believe it or not. Where now level 2 Snowpat allows all of your towers to pop frozen balloons, no matter the projectile type. So basically, if you have level 2 Snowpat on the field, and you have an unupgraded Dartling on the field, your unupgraded Dartling will be popping icified balloons, will be popping frozen balloons for you. That's going to help a ton of strategies with Snowpat, to be honest. So I definitely want to try that out. And then level 14 Snowpat was also buffed, where the Chilling Cheer now buffs himself and Ice Monkey's attack rate by 50% instead of 20%, so that's pretty nice. And then lastly, but not least, guys, they have nerfed Fate Weaver Dora. I know this has been a heavily requested nerf for Fate Weaver Dora, because Fate Weaver Dora is definitely one of the best heroes in the entire game right now. No questions about it. So the nerf to Fate Weaver Dora is the level 10 Chains of Fate is now attacking every 0.12 seconds instead of 0.075 seconds, which is probably about a 30% nerf. I haven't actually ran the numbers on it, but that's a pretty big nerf to level 10 damage. And then the level 3 ability was also nerfed, where level 3 ability comes back every 50 seconds to 40 seconds. And then if your opponent balloon boosts, it's 9 seconds to 8 seconds. So both level 10 and level 3 abilities on Fate Weaver were nerfed pretty significantly. So honestly, Agree with the nerfs, though. Agree with the nerfs 10 times out of 10. I think Fate Weaver needed to be nerfed, and they did so in a pretty good manner, in my opinion, so happy about that. But I would have honestly liked to see Jericho nerfs, because in my opinion, I've been in top of all Masters a lot this season, and on a ton of maps, even despite how strong Fate Weaver Door is, a lot of players still prefer Jericho on some of these harder maps. On a lot of maps, not even just a couple. Jericho is still preferred over Fate Weaver Door. And Fate Weaver Door was nerfed quite heavily, but Jericho wasn't nerfed at all, so honestly would have liked to see Jericho be nerfed a little bit, but it wasn't, so a little bit of a thing there. But that's all the changes, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below on these changes and the new bloon sense. I think the new bloon sense is the most exciting part about this update. Tons of new rushing capabilities, and we're going to showcase the BFB sense, so I'll catch you guys on round... What round is it unlocked? I'll catch you guys on round 27, where I'm going to send my opponent a ton of grouped BFBs, and it's going to be crazy. They might defend, don't get me wrong. They could defend, but I still want to do it, just to do it, you know? Okay, I think I've got a plan with how I want to rush them. Wait, they're sending me DT? They should defend. I'm going to send them a set of fortified Moabs. This will hopefully bait the Chains of Fate out from them. Bloon boost. Oh, I want to force the Chains of Fate. Use Chains of Fate. Use Chains of Fate, use Chains of Fate, use Chains of Fate. Why do you die? No, just use Chains of Fate, bro. Dude, I wanted to force Chains of Fate out from him and then all out with BFBs. Was my whole plan. Dude. Well, unfortunately, you guys are going to have to wait a little bit to see the BFB rush, but you did get to see the lead rush and the mob rush, both of which are actually pretty insane. So make sure to subscribe so you don't miss the BFB rush, and also if you guys did enjoy, make sure to hit the like button as well. That's it for today, though. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'm out. Peace, lads.